Good morning. What I am up to is I am going to drain down the battery on that GoPower Plus. I'm actually going to swap out the charge adapter there for something that's going to drain a little faster. But it's 9 a.m. I'm going to plug something else into that will drain it. And what I'm going to do, as soon as it's drained, I will start this back up again. I will show you what time it is. And I'm going to set the GoPower Plus outside with the 60-watt foldable solar panel, the Rockpals unit I have. Not in perfect conditions, but probably most likely conditions for a lot of people, right? And we're going to see how long it takes 60 watts to charge up this GoPower Plus. Hey everybody, check this out. Why am I showing the grow tent in a video about how long it takes to charge up the GoPower Plus with a solar panel? Because I told you I was going to drain the battery, right? The GoPower Plus is actually powering that light that's on both veg and bloom. So both veg and bloom is turned on, and it is powering that grow light. So it won't do both. It's not mean enough to do both, but it is mean enough to power that one. I'm impressed because that's over 100 watts. That grow light draws more than 100 watts. Just saying. Alrighty, in all fairness of transparency, that LED grow light ran for about 5 minutes before this device shut off and it flashed E1 on the screen. After a few minutes it worked again, so I'm pretty sure it just kind of overheated it. So yeah, I just wanted to be transparent about that. I'm about halfway down draining the battery. This thing, when you're in a hurry, seems to take forever to drain the battery. However, if you're in an emergency situation, I'm sure you're going to wish it had even more. Not saying that it doesn't have a lot. It does. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. But you'll see, in an emergency situation, you're always going to wish you had a little more regardless. So, but anyway, yeah, we're about halfway there, but man, is this thing a beast. So my tablet, it's done charging now, finally. But and I'm going to exchange my phone for the tablet, I guess, since it's done. But I've got these lights on it, right? 2 of those LED cob light things. And I'm also charging my smartwatch and the batteries for my DJI Mavic Mini. Also, I have those 3 USB studio lights plugged in. So I'm working on it. I'm draining it. As soon as the battery gets low enough, we'll get it outside with the solar panel and see what's up. It's just after 10 now, so I figure by 11 we'll be able to get out there and get what I will call an honest charge, okay? An honest charge, and I'll explain that a little bit more as I do it. So we'll talk to you in a bit. Alrighty, it just shut down. It is 10:33, so we're going to get this outside with the Rockpal 60-watt panel, get it hooked up, and see what happens. Now I know you're probably thinking, Watchman, how in the hell is that considered honest solar? Well, it is. Let me explain something. I've got my panel set right there, okay, and it is currently charging. So, as you can tell, yes, it is a partly cloudy day, and there is a tree right overhead. Why do I call this honest solar? Because this is honestly where I would likely use this unit. Why? Well, you know those fancy drones I have? Other people have them too. Other people flying over won't see my panel. However, that panel will still get enough light to function, just not at full power. Okay? I would rather have my panel to be able to use it multiple days at partial power than use it for half a day at full power and lose the panel and whatever it is I'm charging. Okay? This is why I'm calling this honest solar. Okay? You're not going to have full sun days all the time unless you live in California. You know, if you live in London, I guess you need to get some kind of a mist panel or a fog panel. And China, you need to get a smog panel. So here in the Midwest, though, we have days that vary quite a bit like this. So this is what I'm calling on as solar. And it's a little after 10:30 or so. You saw the time on my phone when I brought this out here. And it was completely drained. It even shut down. It was drained completely. It shut down. So we are going to charge it. We're going to see what happens. Okay, just checking in at noon, and I changed the frames so that you'll be able to see the screen. I forgot at 30 frames you can't really see it. It kind of looks funky. So anyway, just so you guys know, and yes, it's still partly cloudy. I'm not a total idiot. Where the sun tracks at, there is a clearing. So as long as the clouds aren't in the way, then the panel will work. So we'll see where we're at. I checked earlier, and we really weren't anywhere. So let me pull this and click the button. So I am showing 1 bar. Earlier I wasn't even getting that. So I am showing 1 bar. Alright, had to plug it back in. So I am showing 1 bar. That's cool. Good deal. We will check back later. Alrighty, it is almost 2 o'clock. Here, let me kick my watch on and bring it in here. If you can see that, 1:54. So almost 2 o'clock. And like I said, the sun, it tracks right through there. So it works out that I got a nice little spot that sun will kind of track through there. And sorry for the audio being muffled. Yeah, I didn't realize that it presses up against my skin, and it does. So let's see where we're at. Let me pull this loose here and hit the button. We're still showing at almost 2 o'clock. We're still showing 1 bar. We'll see. We'll see how far. And again, you know, I want to remind folks that I realize this isn't perfect conditions for a solar panel, okay? But understand, you don't get to pick the environment for your emergency, okay? You don't get to pick nice, clear, sunny days and perfect places to be able to put your panel, okay? That's why I'm doing this in these conditions. It's partly cloudy day. It's not horrible, partly cloudy day. It is getting the sun on it here and there. It's not perfect, but it is getting the sun on it a little bit. If this panel had full sunlight and you were kind of tracking the sun with the panel, you might be able to charge this box in maybe somewhere between 2 and 3 hours, I would think. But doing it realistically like this, it's going to take a considerable amount more time. So we will talk about that a little bit later. For now, let's let it charge for a while. Alrighty folks, it's you can see that 249, and so I'm going to show you this. Hit the power button. We're still at 1 bar, and you notice the sun's not hitting the panels very well. I'm actually going to bring the panels out, and I'm going to set them about where Blue is, and howdy Blue, and we'll set them about where she is, and that way they are getting actual good sunlight, and we're going to see what kind of difference it makes. Alright, I show it's about 3:30, and it was like 2:48 I think when I spoke to you last. There is some clouds in the sky, but it's really clearing out nice. But what I did was I moved that panel and angled it so that it would be more direct at the sun. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually giving it as ideal conditions as I can so I can show you. And this is starting at 3:30. Okay, we're going to look here. We still have 1 bar that we can see on there. Let me try to plug this back in. Kind of hard when one hand when it's wanting to scoot on me. So she's plugged back in, and we're going to see we're going to give it good conditions for from 3:30 until whatever. We'll give it till 5:30, whatever, as long as the clouds keep cool and the you know, I can keep it angled. We'll give it as good as we can. I think you're going to be shocked at what a 60 watt panel can and can't do. This is where I say, just say no to the little bitty 8 and 13 watt panels. Just yeah, just say no. All right, as you can see, it's just after 5:30, and the sun's been in and out. It's been you know, typical day here in the Midwest. So we're going to see where we're at here. We're going to pull this out. This is 2 hours with pretty good sun. It was pretty consistent sun there. So I'm going to, so there you go. After a couple of hours, I would say it's probably real close to light in the third bar. So, you know, anywhere between 2 to 4 hours on 60 watts for, you know, like I say, really good direct sunlight. It's been like this most of the time. It's been nice and sunny most of that 2 hours. So, you know, this is why I'm telling you. This is why I'm telling you. This is 60 watts. Okay, that's a 60 watt panel, and you know, it was angled, and it can do it, but it's not going to do it, you know, in a couple of minutes. That's for sure. So, but I want to say this, and I want to make sure to make a very, very strong point of this, okay? If all you can afford is to get a GoPower Plus and a 13 watt panel or something like that, do it, okay? But understand, in perfect conditions, it's likely going to take you, you know, a couple of days to charge this at a minimum, okay? At a minimum. So keep that in mind. That's all you can do. Don't do without. But otherwise, I would say get a 60 watt panel at a minimum. And I will actually link, and they will be affiliate links. If you're opposed to that, just throw it in Amazon. The name is Rock Pals Panel. I'll put a link to the 60 watt panel. There's actually an updated version, so I'll put a link to the version that I have right there, the updated 60 watt, and I'll put a link to the 100 watt foldable panel. I love them. So I love them. So anyway, other than that, I do plan on doing another run, another test tomorrow. If weather cooperates, I'm going to get out my 28 watt panel, and I'm going to try to put a charge on it for the whole day, a full day charge, okay? To see if we can charge up in as best conditions as we can get, to see if we can charge this up from empty with 28 watts in an entire day. So stay tuned. We'll see if we can manage to do that.